I'm Coach Ant.
I'm Coach T, and we're fans that know some.
And today we're going to dive right into it. 15 minutes, real quick. Let's get at it. No time to waste. Let's go.
Breaking news. Flacco is gone to the Bengals.
Yep.
Ugh, that's ugly. My question is this just a desperation move, or is this a move that's going to save the season?
You know what? It all depends. I mean, Flacco is a veteran quarterback. We've seen what he can do. They do have some really good weapons.
Which is nothing.
I mean, they got better weapons than we have.
Yeah.
I think I can understand why the Bengals made that move, because you can see there were flashes of Browning making plays. If you're looking at that from an analytical standpoint, you can say, okay, if we can eliminate the mistakes that he make, maybe we're in a better position to win. So I can understand why they made that move. If he's the savior to help them, I think it puts them in a better situation. I don't know if that's the answer, though.
Yeah, I have to agree. No run game there, so I still say it'll remain the same even with Flacco. We'll move on to Dillion Gabriel. Is he the future? Is he the future of the Browns, or just another name on their quarterback list?
Right now, it's too early to tell.
Okay.
And the reason I say that, again, I wish nothing bad on this kid, man.
Yeah.
I just believe Sheduer is better. And at the end of the day, to say he's the future, he only started the one game. We're coming into another game.
Yeah.
What he did was what I feel every good quarterback can do in the NFL.
Yep.
You give him a good run game. You give him short passes. He capitalized off of that. But did he make plays to help us win?
Right.
He helped manage the game, and he did his job. Yeah. But again, we are in desperation for that quarterback that we can say, you know what, when things are going wrong, we're going to win because of some of the plays that you make. And ironically, if you look at even that last game against the Vikings, some of those throws, now to Jefferson, I know he's an elite receiver, but still, you're throwing downfield, 39-yard, 35-yard bombs. Yeah. That changed the game. Yeah. Can he do stuff like that? I don't know. Some people can say he don't have a weapon to do it, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's too early to tell if that he's the future.
Right. And again, he's just playing within the system, so they don't really trust him just yet, so manage the game. Talked about that last week. All right, this kid, Sheduer, is getting a lot of flack because his confidence exudes, right?
Yep.
There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Give me your take on why they have this misunderstanding about Sheduer.
My thing is this, man, like people put their own script on how you should be as an athlete, how you should be as an individual. Yeah. My thing is if he's willing to walk in with that confidence and he knows when it's time to play, he's the one that have to show up. And you still are saying, okay, I'm willing to go in and say, you know what, I know I can start in this league.
Yeah.
I think that shows how mentally prepared he is because he's the one that has to deal with what comes with that, whether he perform or not.
Yeah.
So people trying to put a shelf on that's how you would handle the pressure.
Yeah.
Because some people, they don't want to put that on top of themselves. They want to kind of lay low.
Yeah.
They want expectations to be low.
Yeah.
And because it adds pressure.
Right.
He doesn't operate like that.
Yeah.
His dad never operated like that.
Yeah.
So I think for people just to assume that, by him being free and being confident that he's not studying or the way he plays the game, it shows that he studies.
Yeah.
Even we saw a couple weeks ago and Rex Ryan said his thing about him getting in there in the front. From the Colorado days, he's always been in the front row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think people have to understand, like, in this league, a lot of people, in sports in general, when you are an elite athlete, you have your confidence level is through the roof.
Absolutely.
Some people are just more comfortable with showing that.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable with showing it, let it be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let it be.
I'm with you on that, man. I always say there has to be a level of confidence,
Yeah.
And it may come off brash and arrogant, but I'd rather have a confident athlete than someone who's unsure.
One thing I would add to that, how many players, and we're not going to go too deep into it because we going quick hit.
Yeah.
How many players will show the same thing and they say it's swagger? They say, they put the positive spin on it.
Yeah.
Y'all know where I'm going.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the day, it's like we can't have it both ways.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let him be who he is. You handle being an athlete how you want to be.
Right.
That young man is who he is, and he believes in it. Let him do it, and that's what I like about him.
Perfect. Now, with all of these moves, there's a Watson impact here. I have a notion that Watson is going to come into play here. Do you feel like he's going to – will they just bring up Bailey Zappi, or will Watson suddenly be available and on the depth chart this season?
Oh, man. I think there's a chance that Watson can be available.
Okay.
Where they can see, what he can bring before next year.
Yep.
I truly believe that. I think it's in the organization's best interest to see what you have in Dillion Gabriel and Sheduer Sanders. If you put Watson or Zappi in before you put Sheduer in, that's going to be terrible. And I'm telling you, a lot. You got some.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about huge numbers, there's a lot of sums, but there's a lot of a lots that will be pissed off.
You're right, exactly.
Because we want to see you invested in these rookies. Let us see both. If you're going to play one, play the other. I don't want to hear this, he's not ready and all this. You cannot tell me that this dude is that much further ahead than Sheduer. You can't tell me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. I think that whole difference between them two, like I said on the last show, is there's a difference between the coaching staff and the front office playing out in front of us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But coaching staff ultimately make the coaching decision. The front office is saying, okay, we're riding with you, but come on now.
Yeah.
The fans want to see what we working with.
Yeah, I'm riding with Watson shows up suddenly. So we'll move on to the Ravens, man. We don't have our Ravens fan here today or our Bengals fan, so we'll go ahead and take up the slack for that. So for Lamar Jackson, his injury, we see the decline. We saw a decline before the injury.
Yeah.
Is this the beginning of the end for the Ravens playoff run?
Ah, man, it sure looks like it. And again, we don't have our Ravens fan here today, but we started our AFC North clash with all of us chasing behind the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right now, they're in the same boat as everybody else. They got the chaos. They're just falling apart. My thing with them is different, though, because the expectations were so high.
Yeah.
That injury put a damper on, their season. At the same token, if they were supposed to be contending for a Super Bowl, you would think the other elements of their team can carry you through.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think it's definitely going to hurt them and put them on the decline.
Yeah, so they just traded one of their defensive players away to the Chargers and picked up a safety. So maybe they're trying to take up some slack for the defense. So we'll see how that goes, man. Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Your coach, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
All right, so is Mike Tomlin quietly building a division winner right now? Because you guys have been the one that's staying above everybody else so far. So
yeah, man. So I think while everyone else is imploding, we remain steady, right? We build a roster that's built for the regular season, and I still don't know that we're playoff ready. We're taking advantage of the debacle in Cincinnati, the implosion in the Ravens.
Yeah.
So to say, are we building? I think we're just benefiting from some of the woes of the rest of the team while we remain steady. It's too early. I want to stay even keel. I know that's how Tomlin would be in the organization.
Yeah.
We'll just keep working. That's Steel City. We'll just keep working, stacking win after win. So quietly. Yeah, but
you're not saying, okay, we're dominating because we're just that much better. It's the rest of us is having some issues.
Yeah, rest of us are having some issues. It's a little bit of both. But, we had some injuries just like everyone else around the league. Right. But we've been able to remain, a little more steady in our division, so to speak. So we're sitting pretty right now, 3-1. Still too early. A lot of football left to play. But, so far I like what we're seeing. We haven't gone into shambles with some of our injuries like everyone else. So, yeah.
Would you say, with that being said, you talk about some of the issues that happened throughout the AFC North. Which coach would you say is more so on the hot seat within the AFC North?
Oh, without a doubt, it's Zach Taylor, man. You hear those fans, boy. I just saw a post today. Hey, get rid of this guy. Get him out of here. Yeah. And we're back to the bungles of old, and they want to change because you come in year after year. You say you want to start fast. You've started your starters in the preseason, which hasn't been done in a while, and they just haven't responded. It may be time for a new voice, man. And,
gotcha.
And the Bengals are yelling, "Get him out of here!"
And we hear him.
Yeah, we hear him for sure. So I want to pivot back to the Ravens, man.
Yep.
So with that, you just asked me which one of the coaches, but I want to ask you specifically about Harbaugh. Should he be on the hot seat if they miss the playoffs again?
Oh boy, that's a tough one, man. But you can't dismiss it. And the reason I say that is when you watch some of the losses, it just seemed like collapses.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And typically when you see certain collapses, you do question how the team is prepared. You do question some of the schemes and things of that nature. So I think it's fair to say maybe a different approach with the talent that they have will help you. Because, again, you got to think even before the injury, game 1 against Buffalo.
Yep.
What happened there? Collapse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Up until just playing against us, which that game was close in the first half.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair, man. What do you think?
Man, I don't like getting into firing other people's coaches. I can speak to my team because I'm very passionate. But if I had to say, I would say, who are you going to hire? If you're going to get rid of Harbaugh, there better be somebody who's going to come in and make a significant change right away. Because I think Baltimore is tired of just being, top of the AFC North every year after year after year and still not get to the dance. So,
but and with that being said, do you fire a coach because he can't win a Super Bowl though? Or they're making the playoffs, they're having winning seasons. So I think on the flip side, I know people can say, well, you didn't win it all, but do you look at it like, well, we are always in the mix somehow? Do you just get rid of that? And I think it's one of those things where it's like, do you think a different voice can get you over the hump? That's what the part, and you made a good point. I don't know. It's not my team.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't say, man. I just know from coaching that it's timing. It's timing.
Yeah.
It's normally someone within is ready and capable of moving up and taking the reins. Someone who's come under the tutelage of the previous coach. And sometimes there's young, hot talent coming from college that's looking for, but I just don't. I'm not hearing, and there's no buzz of any real coaches that would, make a splash and come in and just change. And Baltimore, of all people, be ready to back them. And back
that makes
them,
sense.
You know what I mean?
So we holding tight.
Yeah. So I want to get back to the Bengals, man. Is this defense the biggest liability in the AFC North?
That's a great question, because when you look at their defense, it's suspect.
Yeah. And
it has been, and they didn't really, we thought it would be better, but I would say, when you think about, what we do on the defensive end, you guys standing at the record that you have, you can't really knock, where you're at.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can also question the Ravens too.
Absolutely.
You can question the Ravens too. So I don't think the defense has been addressed like it should be.
Yep.
To say it's the worst, it's just bad. I can't say if it's the worst right now.
Is this the worst that the AFC North has looked in the last decade?
Oh, man. That's a great question too, because we normally have at least one, maybe two teams, sometimes three, but at least two teams where you're like, okay, man, they're battling out.
Yeah.
They are doing their thing. That they're going to be a tough out. Like right now, like you said, you guys are raising, the roof a little bit on everybody else.
Yeah.
The rest of us are just struggling.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, in what I can remember, one of the worst for sure.
Yeah, I agree, man. I can't remember the last time that we, as a whole, looked this terrible, man. So it's not looking like there's going to be very many playoff teams in the AFC North right now. However, this is rivalry week, so we want to big up the AFC North for that.
Yeah,
Steelers Browns. So bold predictions here. I'm going to go as far as to say the Steelers win the AFC North, and I want to say your Bengals will be the last team in the division this year. What do you say?
Man, and that will mean that we will have some type of winning streak. Yeah. And I believe that we will do so once we get Sheduer back there.
I hear that, man.
Once we put number 12 back there, and he's ready, I think everything will turn around a little bit, a bright light, so to speak.
Yeah.
I do agree, like right now, you guys are just looking more put together than everyone else.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers are right now the best team. Again, every year coaching is there. You guys are handling business. You're winning games. You're finding a way to win, and that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
People look at who you played when. You guys are winning the games, and everyone else is not.
Yeah. So not always pretty, but nevertheless, we are winning games. We want to hear from you. Who wins the AFC North? Chime in with that. So, yeah, man.
But you know what? The records are – some of the records are still close, but we're looking beyond. Just so everyone – they look at, well, we only got this many losses, losses. We are looking at behind the records on how you're getting there and what it looks like. That we're trying to look deeper behind that. You know what I mean? And right now, when you look at the Bengals record, when we talk about them, it's still that last – game, it looked bad.
I don't see. I think we'll get another point in the division league because I do believe we're going to win this week against your Brownies. So us having this week off, we're going to get some guys back. You're going to get Highsmith back. You're going to get Porter Jr. back this week. However you do, you're going to miss Ramsey. So. I mean, it's so early, man.
It's so early.
It's so early.
We still got to talk about it. So, again, we'll be back. Great talk. Again, we need you guys to chime in.
Yes.
Okay. AFC North is chaos. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. We love to hear from you, man. We did it again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm Coach Ant.
I'm Coach T. Peace.
Peace.